Discovery Video 68, Monmouth Park, and we have a starter allowance race. That's a preferred race. So log into the free area and check out that list. Click on View All Discovery Videos, big red arrow. This is my listing of value odds and overlay preferred races. These are the races I follow because I have a better than average chance on getting a high price value odds winner or overlay winner in these races. I have the impact value is much higher in these races. Plus, the favorite frequently does not win, and sometimes even complete heavy favorite usually will run completely out, which means if you get yours home, underneath is, usually some good stuff too. But let me read you the conditions and the races. You got starter allowance races, which this video that we're looking at here is one of those. It'll say ALW and then it'll have a little S at the end. Okay. Non-graded stakes and grade 3 races. Maiden claiming races, maiden special weight races, claiming races with a condition like non-winners of something, bottom and low level claimers, $5,000 to $10,000 claimers at most tracks. All races run on the turf and all races run on a wet track. So the first thing I do when I look at a race is it a preferred race? And since Monmouth Park is one of the tracks that that is a normal handicapping day for me, yes, I've established I've got a preferred race. The next thing you're going to notice everything's very methodical because it's a proven plan that works. Took me a long time to hone it down, but once I've established the preferred race, I'm then going to look for the value odds horse, and I don't have to look far, because the top pick is number 3, KR's Jazz. 30 to 1 on the morning line. That pretty much guarantees me I'm going to get a price. When the betting public sees 30 to 1 or 20 to 1 morning line, they psychologically throw that horse out no matter what they might see. Our true odds on this horse, 2.5 to 1, 2.5 to 1, also known as 5 to 2. So we rate the horse at 5 to 2. Interesting. Top pick in the race. But for me to make a bet on this horse, I need to know the odds near post time. Because if for some strange reason Santa Claus flies in and drops a $90,000 win bet on this horse and the odds drop, I'm not going to bet. I don't like betting value odds horses that are below 10 to 1. Okay, so I got to make sure that I'm getting odds. So here's your odds near post time. She was 50 to 1 near post time, and here you see the odds on Group A. Second pick was 5 to 2. The 10 was 7 to 5. There's your heavy favorite, and the 6 was 4 to 1. So I mean, elephant in the room here. Now, for those of you who could not see the odds near post time, maybe you couldn't watch the race live, I can tell you this: any horse 30 to 1 morning line or 20 to 1 morning line on the value odds, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to get a price. But you can also use what I use when I can't watch a race live and I want to get down on something. I use twinspires.com. They don't advertise with us because we don't have any advertising. I'm not a referral partner of theirs. I use their product and I believe in their product because they have what's called conditional wagering, where you can set a minimum odds requirement for any bet you make. So I could bet KR's Jazz in the morning, long before the race runs, and say I want to bet KR's Jazz, and here's my bets, but I want this horse to be a minimum 10 to 1 at 0 minutes to post, or whatever minimum odds you set. Okay, and then conditional wagering will make sure your stipulation of the odds you require at the time, like 0 minutes to post. And if your horse is going off at that odds or higher, your bet is placed. If somehow your horse is bet down below your minimum accept odds, your bet is not placed. So twinspires.com conditional wagering takes care of that issue. Now, I'm at 50 to 1. Okay? The number itself has me there. The next thing I like to know, what I do, is I like to look for reasons why this horse can win, just for research purposes, and reasons why the betting public did not touch this horse. Well, it's pretty obvious why the betting public did not touch this horse. Because basically all they look at is the horse's last couple of races, in which she finished 9th last time out in a 12-horse field. Previous to that, she was 7th in a 10-horse field. Been running at Monmouth, hasn't hit the board, has not done a thing. Okay, so the betting public will look at that, and they'll automatic, and plus 30 to 1 morning line. Big X, pchoom, pchoom, right across that horse. First throw out of everybody that's not using this report. Now, that's why the betting public did not bet this horse. Now, let's take a look at the whole complete factual story. As you can see here, there's an awful lot of icons there. Each one of those is one of the 36 proven winning overlay angles. But there's a very strong pace set up in here. First of all, before I explain that, I'm going to tell you that value odds with pace and value odds with total pace. Okay? It's angle 10 on your 36 proven winning overlay angles. Okay? Angle 10 is the value odds angle. And here's the important part. There's 5 other icons that, when listed on a value odds horse, have been proven to be very potent. Pace, final time, parlay, pace, total pace. So she's got pace and total pace. Okay? Very strong. Because you consider the yellow and blue pace icon indicates an early and middle pace advantage. The total pace icon indicates a middle and late stage advantage. So, we're talking about complete pace domination. As if that wasn't enough, she's got the highest turn time rating of the field, which is a 100. This is what you call a pace home run trifecta. Pace, total pace, turn time rating. Turn time rating measures the speed around the final turn. Okay, this is a triple home run pace bomb. But you say, how could the, okay, and this is the next question I know is coming into your mind. How could this horse have pace advantages if the horse does not run well? How could the horse have a total pace advantage or class level? This is another thing it's got. It's got the total class rating, which is like back class. How could that be? Well, let's take a look at the numbers. You see here this column, purse level, PRS level. She's got the highest figure of a 154. What that means is she has been competitive in the past in races with a much higher purse than today's purse and race. So, you drop her into a spot like this. So that's how, you know, her internal numbers. And pace is basically a race within a race. If you're studying pace, okay, it's a race within a race. Her internal numbers running against better competition at higher purse levels, okay, she's faster than all of these. She's faster early, she's faster middle, and she's got a late kick, and she's got the turn time. And then look at her 63 total class rating. There's not even another horse even close to 63 over here, which means she's got back class. So she's dropping into a spot here. This is like tailor-made, all right? So there. And that's how I go about my process. Next is I put my bets together. Our strategies never change. Um, win bet first. Obviously, we don't want to have a 50 to 1 shot and somehow screw up the bets. Want to have the win bet down first. First and foremost, even if we're going to play exotic wagers, we must get the win bet down first. Some people only play to win, and that's fine. It's a very good conservative approach. $10 to win is how I do it on the videos here. Now, if I'm going to play exactas, which is my next bet in line, I always wheel my exacta, take my key horse and wheel him. Her. That would be a $2 3-all exacta. And a $10 win bet, and then a 3-all exacta. Daily double. This is a rolling double, so I'm definitely... I also wheel doubles. I wheel exactas and I wheel doubles. So I'm going to have a 3-all double. And coming into this race, I'm going to have an all-3 double. Because you can bet I can look ahead to the 9th race and see it's a starter allowance, which means it's preferred, and that there's a top pick at 30 to 1. So there's no way I'm not going to let that go. I mean, there's no way I'm going to let that get by. So if you're doing rolling doubles, be aware that you must look ahead to the next race, because you need to roll into that value odds horse and roll out with your double wheels. Okay, if we have bankroll to play trifecta and we choose to do so, the next thing in line is this strategy. 3 on top, all by herself. Then in the second position of the trifecta, 1, 10, 6, 9. What that represents is the rest of the horses in Group A and the top horse in Group B. Okay, those horses go in the second position. So we have a 3 on top with the 1, 10, 6, 9, and then I go all for third, 10-cent super, all for fourth. Okay? So, the race within a race, remember, she's been running against much better, because that purse level rating tells us she's been running competitively in the past versus a much higher purse level than today, or at least the highest purse level versus the rest of this field and what they've been running at. Okay, so that indicates she's been running against better, and her internal pace numbers tell the rest of the story. So she should be able to control the pace if needed or wanted, or press the pace, have enough kick around the turn, have enough total pace to last, and it paints a perfect picture of exactly what happened. Stalk the lead there, 22 and change, 45 and change, which isn't very fast, but you know, we're dealing with starter allowance here. There's your turn time. There's where she made her move, and she fought gamely to the end. 56.80 to 1 was your final mutual. Final odds, I mean. 115.60. Win mutual on the top pick. Exacta 659. Trifecta, super, we caught it all. Here was the total returns on KR's Jazz. With your pace, total pace, turn time rating, super duper pace, annihilation, advantage. 2 daily doubles, 714.60 and 661.20 using our strategy. Remember, we wheel doubles, wheel exactas. Excuse me. $10 win bet returns $578. The exacta returns $659.80. The $1 trifecta returned $973.60. The 10-cent superfecta for 10 cents returns $2,281.19. Total knockdown here, $5,868.39. And I was sitting there on Labor Day watching the computer, watching the races, and then all of a sudden my email blew up, because I have a lot of regular members that write me regularly, daily pretty much, and man, was there some celebrating going on there. Yeah, of course I was down on it. I don't miss a 50 to 1 top pick at Monmouth Park. As you can see, here's the tracks. I don't know if you might want to know what tracks what tracks, where's the money at? Saratoga, which is over now, so, but it was a source of tremendous profit for the whole season. But you got Monmouth, Remington there, Saratoga, Calder, Hoosier Park, Louisiana Downs, Arlington Park, Del Mar, which is closing, Delaware Park, Monmouth Park. Okay, so Monmouth is going to stick around till October, and then these other tracks. But Saratoga and Del Mar are going to be, well, Saratoga's closed, Del Mar's closing in a day or two. So what you got to do is keep watching this video page, the page where I post my videos, like the view all discovery videos. Look for the banner or the link. Keep an eye on that page and it'll show you where the money's at. Now Fairplex is coming up. I like Fairplex, California, but we have also coming up in the fall Keeneland and Churchill fall meets. I love those meets. I'm talking, it's like those tracks are like, have been like an ATM machine for us. Keeneland and Churchill's coming, Fairplex, and then Santa Anita starts up their fall meet, and in New York we're going back to Belmont for the fall championship season. So check that out there. You got 60 some odd videos on that series. And then also, if you scroll down a bit, look for the laptop computer. There's the previous video series of 424 videos. Let's see, Churchill Downs. So wow, that was a big one at Churchill. Finger Lakes, Indiana, Gulfstream, Turf Paradise, they're not running right now. Santa Anita. So you see what we got coming up is good stuff. Tampa Bay in December, man, am I looking forward to that. This was basically the end of the winter, but Santa Anita was always a good source, as you can see here. That's coming up in the fall after Fairplex. Okay, so you got 424 videos on that page, so check those out. Study material for you, and get to learn how we do it, and why we do it, where we do it, when we do it, the whole 9 yards. Okay. 17 minutes, and I've said just about everything I want to say. The last thing I'm going to talk about is bankroll management. Whatever your horse racing bankroll is, establish that amount. Whatever it is, X amount of dollars. You want to bet a certain percentage maximum of that bankroll on the races that you do play, and hopefully you are playing preferred races. The reason you want to set a certain percentage is because you want to be able to manage that bank so that you never tap out the bank. Okay? So for example, if someone has $100 and they're betting $20 or $30 a race, they haven't given themselves a whole lot of chances to hit a big one, like we go for these big odds overlays. And see, this is where the profit is. You know, these big hits like this, okay? It was a big one at Remington and Saratoga. I mean, all these big hits, okay, thousands, and a couple thousand here, 3,000 there, 4,000 there, 6,000 here. Okay, you add all those up at the end of the year, and that's where you made your profit. Even if you're just playing win bets at exactas only, it's, you know, it's all on a, you know, same scale. Okay, you're gonna make more money than you bet. If long-term profit is your goal, what you're viewing is the result of 16 years worth of long research done by the human brain in between my ears. Yes, I can automate studies with computers nowadays, but I do not. I do the studies by hand, the old school way. The reason, you know, yes, it takes me a lot longer that way, but when I do the studies by hand as opposed to by computer, I get a true feel for the whole true feel and sense for exactly what's going on, okay? As opposed to punching a few numbers on a computer which spits me out another number, okay? Which and that's why you got all these database guys that are broke. They don't know how to put it all together. If your computer's doing the work, if the computer is doing the thinking for the intelligence, that's not what a computer was designed to do. Okay, to a certain extent, the computer has whatever intelligence you program into it, But there is no better computer than the supercomputer, which is the human brain. So all of my studies have been done by hand and still are done by hand. I do all my research every day by hand. I look at my results, my races, my replays, and I check every race at every track every single day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year. I still do it by hand because I believe that's the best way to get the best feel for everything. Okay? And then, of course, the computer does the monotonous tasks like handicapping 30 tracks as though I'm doing 30 tracks because I've got it all that intelligence is programmed into the tedious part of handicapping. You know, a basic card would take me 5 hours to handicap, but I can do 30 tracks, and I've programmed the exact intelligence that I use for my handicapping. Okay, the program goes, you know, there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of things that it looks for. Okay, so that intelligence has been programmed so that these tracks can be handicapped by me through the computer. Okay. That's the only part, and it's a monotonous task, okay, obviously, and geez, if I'd spent 5 hours a card on 30 tracks, that's 150 hours. I kind of ran out of time there. There's only 24 hours in a day. So that's why the computers have their purpose, but not for research purposes, okay? I still do it the old-fashioned way, and it's been working. It's brought tremendous insight to me, and I was able to relay that to you members, and you've been able to be very successful. And I love getting emails every day about how the members are following the videos and learning from the videos, and they're doing well. That's my satisfaction because that's my job. My job is to help all members become successful as far as long-term profit if that's what they choose to do. Okay? Anyway, that was a good one. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat 115.60 top pick winner. I think, yeah, that's the highest this year. That's the record for 2011 so far. So far. But we've got the fall racing coming up, and I can tell you there's some big numbers in fall racing. Plus the fact that down here in Florida it gets a little cooler. So it's not, and that's just like the most wonderful time of the year. I love fall and winter because you got great racing, great overlay opportunities, and the weather turns out nice and cool. And the dog days of summer are over. Yes. All right. But we did do very well at Saratoga. Absolutely fantastic. Del Mar did good too. 23 minutes. I'm done. Thank you very much for viewing, and good luck.